Hello guys, once again welcome to Mentorship Farms, and as usual my name is Fred. Today we are going to be talking about one of the questions that most of you living abroad, whether it be in US, in the Europe or in Asia, or even Africans that are living in the city and wants to do a farming project or any other project in their community, in their village, have been asking me all the time. And the question is, Fred, can we be in Europe or Asia or US or in the city in Africa and do a project in our village or in our communities? And I know this is a question that most of you are battling with and have been asking me. Today I want to share with you my experience and what I think as well, because it's long due for me to bring you this topic. But before we go on, if you're new to this channel or if today is the first time that you're watching any video from me, I want to say welcome to the Mentorship family. Here on Farming in Africa channel, I do talk about innovative way of farming in Africa, ways that we can motivate ourselves and start feeding our continent, because as you guys know, we have a lot of fertile land, great climates, and everything grows on this continent. So why are we starving? And that is a question and a challenge to all of us, and I feel like we all have a role to play in. And once again, just sharing my mistake here at the farm and success with you guys, so that when you decide to finally make the step into farming, you will have the information and knowledge that you need to be able to make the right decision and not repeat the mistakes that I did. Because when I wanted to start a cattle farm a few years back, there was nothing online about cattle farming or any other thing that I was interested in. And therefore, I had to travel outside to seek knowledge to be able to come here and innovate and do what I really wanted to do. But I hope you don't have to make the same effort, because here I am sharing all the information that I have with you. So if this is the kind of content that you're interested in, then please help us by going into the button and hitting the subscription button. Don't forget to also hit on the notification bell, so that anytime that I release any innovative video about farming in Africa, you will be notified and can come and enjoy. Coming back to today's topic, I am actually very excited today because it's rained. We are entering into the rainy season, so you know, I'm super happy. There is something about rain that just gets me into a good mood. As you guys can see, the ground is wet. I can feel the natural smell. The grasses are green. I hate dry areas. The grasses are green. Everything is sprouting. There is life, right? So I like that. And as a farmer, when I wake up in the morning and it has rain, it's amazing. Rain means that we're also planting our brachyra grass. We're also planting maize for our poultry farm. If you have a livestock farm and you have not get your hands on a brachyra grass, please contact the WhatsApp number below. This is a grass that I brought from Mexico that I use to basically feed my cows, my goats, and all my livestock. It has 18% protein and is the best that you can find. So guys, if you are into livestock or thinking about it, start planting your grass now. Take advantage of the rainy season, because in Africa when it rains, it means farming. So let's get on it and start it. I want to come to today's topic. I think most of you have asked me this question, and I deem it, with all my experience, to be able to share my knowledge and my opinion with you guys. I started doing projects in Ghana way back in 2009, 2010. Whilst living in the US, whilst living even in Europe, right, before I moved to the US. So my advice is not basically just based on farming, because I've done a lot of businesses in Ghana: tourism, agricultural, construction, education, and so on and so forth. And I've managed all of these business from either being in Europe or being in America, right? And have had some huge success in most of them, and also failed in some because of all the challenges that you guys are thinking about and the reasons why you think that it's not possible. And I know that there is a bit of fear, and we all know the challenges. And some of the biggest challenge here is trust, right? If you're not around, who do you trust your project to be able to manage it? I released a video quite about a year ago about working with relatives. If you haven't watched that video, I think it's one of the powerful videos that I've poured everything out there. I'm linking it above here. Go ahead and watch it. It's an amazing video where I talk about how to work with your relative, because I think in the past we've relied so much on our relative or people that we knew, before we traveled to help us with our project, than trusting experts or people that actually have decided to do this for a living and paying them, right? Again, it's a culture and it's a level of education thing, right? So I think that fear still exists, where we've been screwed over so many times. I am a victim of it, right? And even with our personal houses, that we want people to support us to build, they've screwed us over. So how much more a project that they know we are going to be making money? The mindset, guys, is a huge problem, and therefore I know this is hindering so many of you from achieving the dream and the passion that you have for any project on the continent of Africa. And I'm hoping that today I can clarify some of it for you. So I think the human aspect is one. The trust is also the second thing. Even if you are able to find somebody that you know with the right skills, are you able to trust this person with your whole vision while sitting abroad, right? So my quick answer to you guys, and we're going to elaborate this a little bit, but my quick answer to you that it is yes, possible, because I am a living proof of it, right? As you guys know, my family even lived in the US, so I always try my best to go to the US at least 3 times a year or 2 times at least a year, right? And at most sometimes 4 times a year. So most of the time I am actually not here in the US, but supervising. And I've done so over the years and gained a lot of experience with the people that I work with and how to log them in, so that they're enjoying what they're doing, but they also wouldn't want to leave, right? And there are so many ways that I've used to be able to do that. But that doesn't mean that the challenges are neglected. The challenges are real and they are frustrating. But you know what? I remember when I started my school back in 2000 and maybe 15. I built a school, amazing, school is starting. The day that school was starting, I called the bus driver and he told me that my uncle has offered me to be a storekeeper in Accra, so I'm leaving the same day. So kids coming to school for the first time were standing by the roadside waiting. I had to take my boots, dress up, pick the school bus and go around and pick all the kids. I had to do that for 1 week, right? So in the midst of that, I was like, I'm not gonna go back to the US. And by that time too, I was studying in the US, right? So I was like, I'm not gonna go. I have to finish this project, see it through before. And one of my fathers, my good friend and a wise man told me that, Fred, no one can operate this school like you will operate it. But all what you have to do is to give people a chance to do it their way whilst you support them with the best way that you can for now. And that was the advice that I took and left and went back to the States to finish my education. And over the years, I've learned that, once you're not on the ground, it's never, I promise you, gonna be like yours. Even being able to transfer your vision or how you want your project to look like to them is a big issue, because they haven't seen or been exposed to what you and I have been exposed. And even if it's not about the exposure, they are not the ones with the vision. You see it in your head and now you have to translate it to them. That is not easy, guys. But if you are even able to achieve that, then putting it into practice, the execution is going to be completely different from how you would do it, because we all have different ways of doing it. There's a weird saying in Ghana, there's a weird saying about there is so many different ways to kill a cat, right? Don't hold me up to that. I don't kill cats, but it's a saying, and that is exactly what it is. Different people will do things differently, right? Even though you're giving them the guidance from afar, it's never gonna be the same as you're here. But my advice to you is it's a risk taking. Take the risk. Let me share this experience with you guys. So just recently, I actually traveled to the US for 6 months. That's the longest I've been in the US since like 2015, right? And there were several projects that were happening. Actually, there were a lot of projects that were happening in my absence, but I had to go because of family, you know. And one of the projects that didn't succeed was a polytank project that we were building. Before I left, I had started thinking about battery cage system and experimenting with it. I'm going to release a video about why I'm not going into battery cage next week, so stay tuned for that video as well if I haven't already released it. I don't know when I'm going to post this video, but you know, so through battery cage system, you definitely need to elevate your water, you know, so that it can drip through the pipes that you're going to lay. Even though we have already an elevated water, I wanted to build a second one. And when I was here, I actually built a concrete sort of platform for us to store things beneath and also put our polytank on top. My team decided to build a different one with metal, right? And it was a disaster. The design wasn't done properly. So the moment they put a tank on top and filled it with water, the next day they came and everything had fallen down. As you guys can see, this has cost us a lot of money. The polytank alone is, I think, about 6,000 or 5,000 liters. That alone is costing us maybe, I don't know, maybe $1,000 or less. I don't know. I don't have the number. But the metal that they used to build, the workmanship, the pipes that we laid from the pipe all the way to this place, everything has gone wasted and has cost us a lot of money. And I know for sure that if I was here and managing this project, this wouldn't have happened. Second project that I would like to talk to you guys about. I know you guys know that we have actually been bringing boa goats from South Africa. So I have some boa goats here at the farm. If you haven't watched the experience with the boa goats, I'm gonna link some here. Go ahead and watch it after this video, and I will link another video so after this video so that you can watch it. But when I started bringing the boa goats, I was in the US, so I was like, you know, let's start building something, you know, so that at least the goats can have their own pen. So I gave them all the guidelines, the pictures, the idea and everything. And guys, can you imagine? Just look at this pen. Basically, you know, the goal was to put this metal inside so that, you know, the wood, whatever wood we use, doesn't get spoiled by termites. So let's put this bracket to hold it and protect it from termites. Instead of them putting it on the ground, they actually put the wood on top of it, which is making the whole structure very weak. So basically, these things are hanging. And the moment I saw a picture of it, I was like, guys, this is not gonna work. This cannot be how we do it. And they assured me that they put so many nails, blah, 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 it was gonna work. Recently, I got a message saying, Fred, you said it. And what has happened is when it rained, the wind actually pushed the pen, and now the pen is tilted. Can you guys imagine? You know, I always advise you guys, start small, you know, start cheap, learn from it and move. So I didn't really spend much on this project because I wanted to start small, use cheap materials and so on. And if you haven't watched the video about building a good pen with cheap materials, I'm linking it here. You can do so as well. But basically, I built it cheap, so it's not costing me that much. But even the roofing sheet alone, it's not small money, right? So definitely, it is gonna cost me something. And if I have to pull this down and do it again, that is a whole cost. These and so many other projects are what didn't go well because I wasn't around. But we can only focus on the negative part. We have to also look at the positive side of things. At least the farm is running. When I came in here, I felt more relief, you know, because of people's presence here. It's becoming more of a community than just the farm that I left it, even within just 6 months, right? Because now we have 3 different families actually living on this property, right? 2 guys who are taking care of the cows, and I think another one guy who is also taking care of the poultry, plus 2 other people, right? So it is growing, and it's becoming like the homestead that I want. So that to me was a relief, right? That if I was sitting abroad, in the US or abroad somewhere, and thinking, okay, I will start, but I can't do it because people will cost me money, I won't have this community that I have here. Right now, if I want to come and stay here and do it, I will come and stay here and do it. Because I started, you also saw the government project with solar panels. If you haven't watched that video, you can also watch it after this video. But the government, because of what I've started, actually brought me solar panels, and now I have solar lights, 4 different ones here, that shines and brightens this place at night. That also is a plus, right? So there are disadvantages and advantages versus, doing your project whilst being in abroad and being here and doing it. And what I can tell you guys is there is risk involved. You're going to lose some money, but that shouldn't prevent you from starting. Start small, use it as an experiment now that you're not here, to gain information, to gain data. I remember when I started the poultry farm, I wasn't here as well, I was in the US, right? Somewhere in 2020. And what I did was just buy about 200 chicks. And I said, you guys start with 200 chicks and let's see. But I want you to record everything that you guys will do. So the vaccination, medication, tools, equipment, salaries, everything that we spend. And I used that to collect a lot of data that I was able to use that to justify if I wanted to scale or really this is something I wanted to do. Right, so my advice to you, number 1, is if you're really interested and you're ready, use this time that you are away as an experiment to gather data, to gain experience, to also build trust with the people that you have on the ground. Because if they cannot handle 200 chicks, how then are you going to start 5,000 upwards chicks with them? If they cannot handle a simple maize farm, and be honest with you, how are they going to start a maize farm that is going to feed the chicks or whatever livestock that you decide to do? So I think it is very, very important that you use this time to start small. Money that when you lose, you wouldn't really mind. Throw it in there and do something small. Even if you're in the city, in Lagos, in Accra, in Kigali, in Nairobi, and you're thinking about doing something in your village, start small. And whenever you can, go and give them the surprise visits and see how things are going. You can correct a few things, but in your mind, you know that this is an experiment. For me, when I reach the stage where I want to quit my job and come, or I want to leave the city and come here. Now, even yesterday, I was saying that I want to start building another container house here because this place has started feeling like a home to me. And I want to start living here instead of living in the town when I come here. And it's because I've had people here, doing stuff. And I think that is a big win for me as well. So this is basically what I can think of. I know I try to share as much, but I don't want this video to also be that long video, that you guys have to spend time watching. I'm going to break it into pieces. But if you also want to talk to me one-on-one, go ahead and click on the description. I have a link in there. Click on that link. You can book some time with me. Choose any time that you're free, whether Monday, Tuesday, whatever time that works for you. Choose it and schedule some time with me, and we can speak one-on-one. I can share all my experience with you as well. But thank you guys so much for staying tuned. I hope this is helpful and this clarify. I'm sorry it's not a straight yes or no, but I think you should definitely take the step. Buy a land if you haven't bought it. If you have bought it, clear it. If you haven't, clear it. If you've cleared it, try looking for 1 or 2 people, start something small, gain their trust, learn from it, get data, understand it yourself, right? And maybe you might even decide, you know what, I think I can do this from here because I have done it. I have so many different things that I do. So I'm not 100% always here, but things are still going. We are still making some money from here, and we are improving. We are turning a whole forest into a community now here at the farm, and I'm loving it. So I hope you guys take the step, write in the comment and let me know what you guys think, if this is helpful or not, or if there's anything that you would like me to talk about, let me know. But thank you for watching, and I will see you in another video.